Coach, what does it say about your team, the way they responded after a 7-0 loss in Game 5?
You know, I've all year we said the same thing about our players. You know, that's our team. The guys are fighters, and they choose to fight, and they don't choose to bail out, and they don't choose to freeze. They choose to fight, and it's something they've developed individually and as a team, and that's why we're still here. And you know, that's an unbelievable team on the other side. So it takes every player, everyone's character to be able to do that, and that's what our players displayed today. You know, them getting the first goal and having to come back again. So we wanted to do give our best in front of our fans, and what we didn't want to do is run and gun like we tried the last two games, and we knew we couldn't do that. But I think the game that we played here, the great game, it was great to win it, but it hurt us. It hurt our identity because it gave us the false, I guess, the false impression that we could go out there and match them offensively. And I mean, they got the most offensive stars in the league. Nobody has that. Like it's so if we thought that we were going to match that and go head to head in their style, you know, it burned us. And we knew that before the series started, but I think you get excited, and it wasn't the plan. It's just you just get excited, and we learned from that. And today we didn't want to do that. We wanted to be ourselves, and make sure that we didn't give them any freebies and breakaways and 2-on-1s and 3-on-2s and 4-on-2s like or turnovers. That, you know, 3 turnovers in the first period the other day. We just killed ourselves right off the bat. So we didn't want to do that. So if they were going to beat us, it wasn't us beating ourselves at least, and that was for sure one of our biggest focuses.
45 saves with the season on the line for Craig Anderson. Just talk about his incredible night.
I mean, he's what he's done all year in terms of focus and rebounding and coming up for big games is, I think, is really at the forefront of what these guys have been doing. You know, they believe in each other, and they know that there's a lot of big-time guys in that room. You know, and it's not always the same guy, but obviously our goaltender. If you look at our season, you know, Condo's played really good, having to play 26 games in a row, and he held the fort. And you know, you could think that you know, when your number one comes back, he's rusted and everything comes back, and he just takes us to the playoffs. And now, you know, it's a roller coaster, all series, and not just this one, but all the previous ones. And he's been terrific at reloading mentally, physically, and emotionally. And I think it's the image of our team.
You touched on the possibility this morning about Colin White into the lineup. Just talk about that decision and his play tonight.
Well, you know, we've got some guys that are centermen that have trouble taking face-offs right now for different reasons, and you know, I thought that first of all, we always knew this was going to be a speed series. These guys are a great first-on-puck team, and they're quick and they're transition. So, always had in mind that he could be a possibility because of his speed, but also because he's reliable. He's one of those, you know, usually the young guys come around, they just want to be great and score a goal, and they don't get it, and it's always the same. You know, young guys. The ones that are mature and understand that, you know, don't hurt us before you help us. Those are the ones that are able to adapt quick, and he's got that, and we knew that, and that's why you had the maturity to come in today and give us the shifts he gave us, and he did really well. And the thing too is that we weren't on a road. You know, if you go out there and you're on the road and you know, you get the opponent sending their best players out there and superstars. I mean, that's not fair to expose the kid to that. And at home, I could match him and put him on whenever I wanted to, and that helped.
Guy, getting to know Craig Anderson this year, when was the moment for you when you really realized what you had in him as a goalie and as a guy as resilient?
Last summer. I'll be honest with you. If I didn't have a number one goalie, I didn't want the job. It's I've lived it for quite a few years, and it's hell when you don't have it, because everything you do turns to darkness, and there's nothing that really matters when you don't have a real number one goaltender. And that was one of the biggest reasons why this job for me was appealing. It wasn't just an NHL job. You don't want an NHL job. You want a job where you have a chance. And you know, it's my second job in the NHL, and I've been in this exact spot, you know, in 2011, 7th game in a conference final, and the years after that. And that's one thing I've learned is you need a number one goalie, and that's what I felt. This guy is a real number one goalie that can make you steady and give you a chance to win. And then everything else mattered after that. So for me, I would tell you it's last April. Last April is when I got excited because there was an opportunity on the team where they have a real number one goalie, and there's guys like Erik Karlsson that had room to grow, and all the other guys. But it starts with the goalie. It's always going to start with the goalie for me, because I've been humbled enough now in situations where you can play great and you just can't win. It's like quarterback in football and the pitcher in baseball. And we have it. We got that guy, and we got a great backup. So this is a good situation. That's where it starts.
Guy, having been there before, how would you describe what it's like for a team to play one game with a chance to go to the Stanley Cup final?
I've been lucky enough my career now that I've had quite a few 7 games and Team Canada gold medal games where it's that one game. And for me, it's excitement. It really is. I look back and, it was the Boston Bruins back then, and it was a tough game. Like, it was 0-0 with 7 minutes left in the game, so it was quite a game and a lot of pressure. But what I remember the most is the excitement of an opportunity that very few people get in their lives, and I'm part of that. And I can't be blessed more than that. It's only my 4th season in the NHL, and that's twice I lived that. And there's so many great coaches better than me that have done, have 15 years in the league and still haven't had the chance to be in a conference final. So I have to be grateful for that. I have to personally myself. I'm blessed, and I feel lucky. And I guess I fell in a good place at the right time with the right people, and I owe a lot of people a lot for that. And for the players, I think there's a lot of guys in there that have never lived it. A lot of our guys, like a guy like Dion, 13 years in the league and has never been, conference final. So that's exciting for him to be here. And I think what we have to watch out for is thinking of Stanley Cup finals. That's like today. It wasn't about winning series. It's about winning one game. We've won a lot of one games this year. We've won a lot of pressure one games. And that's what it's about. So that's what I remember is if you get ahead of yourself, you get an excitement that's very difficult to manage. And so we want to make sure that we manage it like today. We need to be calm, need to know what we are, need to know who does what, and we know that, but we have to be ourselves to give ourselves a chance. This last time we went there, we got shellacked, so it's not great memories, but it's a new day, and the only way we're going to get to have a chance is to play with our identity, with our tools, and that's all we want to focus on.